I'm Maeve. Welcome to Wednesday's Europocket News, where we're talking about America's most famous chat show host, 21st century news reporting, and the Australian bush. So let's go. Migration is based on political force or free reasons. In this unjust world, it's the seas around the most conflict-prone areas in the world that are the most affected. Hundreds of immigrants risk their lives regularly when they flee from misery and war. And last weekend, yet another shipwreck was found on the coast of Turkey. Of the 85 people on board, 2 swam to the Turkish coast in search of aid. But along with them, only 5 more have been rescued. 51 corpses have already been found, the rest are lost at sea. The toll adds to the hundreds who have died this year trying to get into the European Union. Many paying up to the high price of €7,000 for their freedom, but ending up with an untimely death. This has to be the biggest humanitarian tragedy of our time. She can turn an unknown author into a bestseller. If Oprah Winfrey's in the hotspot, you know there's some gossip. And this time it's the approaching of the US presidential elections. Although not scheduled till the 4th of November 2008, if everyone's talking about them, so is Europe. And there's already some dirt on our reaction to the candidates. Seemingly Europeans are more comfortable than Americans with the prospect of a woman or a black man becoming the next president of the United States. That's according to a survey carried out by Harris Interactive. Most of the 6,500 people quizzed in France, Germany, Italy and Spain felt the election of former First Lady Hillary Clinton would have a positive effect on US foreign relations. Most were pretty uninformed on the whole thing and could only name Clinton and the coloured candidate Barack Obama, who swore to Time magazine he would make government public service cool again. In brief, the survey said that if the American presidency was a popularity contest driven by Europeans, Clinton would win, Obama would come second, and Rudy Giuliani would come third. What's your opinion on the freedom of press? That very question was floored to 11,344 people in 14 countries by the BBC World Service. And sure enough, more than half felt that freedom of the press meant a free society. But 4 in 10 felt social harmony and peace were more important. In the US, UK, Mexico and Brazil, 7 in 1 felt that ownership was a big issue, as owners' political views were being transmitted in the news. And in Europe, it was the Germans who stood out the most for not trusting in their private media companies. Only 18% gave them the thumbs up for accurate news. And indeed, in this technological day and age, we need professional journalism more than ever. Experts to tell us things with detail, expertise, accuracy and sensitivity. High standards of journalism and ethics is essential for us to comprehend other societies, science and technology. If we're all editing Wikipedia, how do we know what the truth is? If this concept interests you, and you are an inspiring journalist and not just a blogger, this news is for you. EU Radio Nantes, the Nantes-based radio station that you recently met personally, is recruiting. If you're young, loud, opinionated and bilingual, and fancy a 6-month stint as a trainee radio broadcaster, send your application in now. Working in a multicultural environment, you would start next March and spend roughly 6 months learning, training and creating professional radio journalism for a multilingual European audience. Application forms and more information can be found online at euradionant.eu. And finally, climate change. EU Commissioner Stravas Dimas has said it just might be willing to cut greenhouse gas emissions more than 30% by 2020 if the rest of the rich nations agree. If they don't, maybe I know who could help him. The Australian icon, the kangaroo. Scientists in Queensland have isolated special bacteria in the stomach lining of kangaroos, which if reapplicated in sheep and cattle could reduce the emissions of greenhouse gases and improve the productivity of farms worldwide. The discovery, which took 4 years of research, has been welcomed by the new Labour government in Canberra, who signed the Coyote Protocol this week. So it looks like gone are the days where Skippy the bush kangaroo's function was just to find missing kids in the wilds of Aussie. Well, that's all for today. I'll see you again tomorrow in your News. Don't miss out. Bye-bye.